the last class, we had seen that the human beings need plants. In the olden days, most of the part of the world was forest. But nowadays, the forest decreased and the land area increased. People cut down trees to make their own houses. And also, they are cutting down trees in a large quantity so that the forest increased. Many species of living things, living animals are living in forests. If forest decreased, many animals could not survive. If forest decrease, many wild animals cannot survive. They also will be destroyed. So, nowadays we are in a danger situation. Without plants, we, the human beings, also cannot live. Because we get oxygen because of these plants. If we will not get sufficient oxygen, we cannot live. So in this lesson, we are reading about man and nature. In olden days, man lived in nature. Man was the part of the nature. He loved the nature. So today, students, the remaining part of the lesson we will read. Take your lessons, lesson 7, Man and Nature, page number 30. In cooler parts of the world, logging is a major threat to forests. Logging means cutting down of forest for timber. Cutting down of forest for timber. What's the meaning of timber? Timber means wood prepared for use in building. People cut down trees for timber. Timber they use for preparing their houses, other buildings. In North America, vast areas of coniferous forests have been cut down to produce timber and paper. See, coniferous. Next word. Coniferous means evergreen trees like pine with bare cone-shaped fruits. That is called coniferous. These are evergreen trees. And timber, we had already seen that. Timber means wood prepared for use in building, etc. They are cutting down trees for timber and paper. And we know that these papers are made from wood. Of course, there are replanting programs to replace cut trees. Replanting means planting trees in place of those cut down. Planting trees in place of those cut down. Of course, there are replanting programs of replace out trees. If replanting programs are going on regularly, there will not be any problem of trees because they can replace the cut trees. But the new forests contain far fewer species than the ones they replace. But the new forests contain far fewer species than the one they replace. Means in forests, many species of trees are there. If the replanting program is going on well, then also we cannot replace all the plants, all the species. So that also is a problem. Scientists now know beyond a doubt that much of the world's wildlife is under threat. If action is not taken, thousands of species may soon cease to exist. Threat means under threat, likely to be killed. Likely to be killed. Killed means it will be finished. If action is not taken, thousands of species may soon cease to exist. The task facing the world is to protect wildlife and ensure its long-term future. The solutions are not always as straightforward as they seem. See, straightforward means easy to understand or do. Easy to do. Yeah, easy to understand. That is the meaning of straightforward. The people ask the minister to give a straightforward answer. Straightforward answer. Straightforward means say to understand or say to or do. It is not, the solution are not always as straightforward as they seem. People all over the world have become much more aware of the need for conservation. Conservation means preventing loss of natural resources like water and various forms of life. That is conservation. People all over the world have become much more aware of the need for conservation. People should know about the need of the conservation. Many countries are taking positive action. Most of the world's nations have signed an agreement to ban the trade of endangered species. Endangered means facing danger. Endangered, facing danger. The tiger is considered an endangered animal. Endangered means facing danger. Wildlife conservation will succeed only if it is backed by action, not just words. If we say only the words, If the government say only the words, it will not take any action. If they will not take any action, it will not be succeed. We endanger wildlife by destroying habitats and polluting the air and water, and in many other ways. Polluting means making dirty. Making dirty. Destroying the purity of the polluted water means dirty water. For example, polluting the air and water, and in many other ways. To save disappearing species, we must change the way we live. If we save the disappearing species, we must change the way we live now. For example, if we want the trade of ivory completely, the killing of elephants for ivory will stop. See, for example, it's an example. If we ban the trade of ivory completely, the killing of elephants for ivory will stop. What is the meaning of ivory? Ivory means white horn-like a substance, the tusks of elephants. Without killing the elephants, people will not get its tusks. For example, if we ban the trade of ivory completely, the killing of elephants for ivory will stop. There must be programs to protect other animals as well. It is only an example. Ban the trade of ivory. Plants also need special protection. Not only animals, plants also need special protection. The Chilean pine, an unusual South American tree, grows only in a small area. The Chilean pine. It's a kind of tree, and it grows in South America. It grows only in a small area. Many of the trees have been felled, but in Chile they are now classified as national monuments. See, felled means cut down, and monuments, next word. Objects that keep memory of the past. Objects that keep memory of the past, that is called monuments. And there are laws banning the cutting down of these pines. That pines in South America, they cannot cut down because it is banned. We can live comfortably on the earth only if there are plants, animals and birds around. All forms of life are connected with one another. It is called nature. All forms of life means animals, plants and human beings. All forms of life are connected with one another. The government of India has taken several steps to protect nature. The cutting down of trees in the forest and the killing of wild animals and birds have been banned. There are also a number of national parks and wildlife sanctuaries in India, where plants and animals are allowed to grow in their natural surroundings. Here you see one more word, sanctuaries. Sanctuaries means areas where birds and animals are protected. The Kaziranga National Park in Assam, the Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary in Rajasthan, the Kolleru Wildlife Sanctuary in Andhra Pradesh, the Kaziranga National Park in Assam, the Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary in Rajasthan, The Kolleri Wildlife Sanctuary in Andhra Pradesh and the Silent Valley National Park in Kerala are some of them. These areas are protected. Our earth is not meant for human beings alone. Always we should remember this. Our earth is not meant for human beings alone. We should grow plants around us and allow animals and birds to live without fear. Nature needs a balance among all forms of life. So, students, we should be careful about our nature. And we should remember always that our earth is not only meant for people alone. We should grow plants around us and allow animals and birds to live without fear. Nature needs a balance among all forms of life. That we should remember. So students, the lesson is over. You should read this lesson at least 3 times and try to find out the question answers. Thank you.